All right. Hello, everyone. This is ESL 5 Spring 2022. Like I said in my previous email, or sorry, my first email, things are a little bit awkward start this quarter since we are starting with a video instead of a Zoom meeting. But I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go over the syllabus in detail. And then that way, when we meet on Monday, I'll give us some time to go over the course structure and everything again, just to see if we have any questions and go over some maybe confusing parts. But here, I'll go ahead and take the time to go over the syllabus here. And you'll have the syllabus as well. Everything is on Canvas, so feel free to review this video and also review the syllabus at your own pace. So here's ESL 5, Advanced Composition and Reading. My name is Daniel, and you'll go ahead and you'll meet me on Monday if you haven't seen me before. So I'll see you at 6:30 p.m. On Monday via Zoom, and the Zoom link is right here in the middle of the screen. It's highlighted. This will be the same Zoom link that we use for every class, the same Zoom link we use for office hours. So feel free to maybe bookmark this, copy this somewhere, make this really easy for you to click every single time. On the top right of the screen, you'll see my email address. That's just going to be tungdaniel@dianza.edu. Of course, you can also message me through Canvas if that's a little bit easier. And office hours will be Mondays before class, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I'm also fairly flexible in terms of if you just have questions via email, right? Feel free to email me. And if you give me a heads up, that you want to meet for office hours, because I know sometimes, we're joining the class early, and I don't know if you're here for the class or if you're here for office hours, right? Since office hours are right before class. So just let me know, give me a heads up. Sometimes that'll just make it easier and less confusing for everyone. All right, course description. This is going to be close reading and analysis of a variety of societal, academic, and literary texts representing culturally diverse perspectives, practice of the techniques of expository, response, and argumentative writing based on critical reading and critical thinking, composition of clear, organized, and well-developed essays with outside sources and demonstration of information literacy. If you've taken 273, then you're already familiar with essay writing. And you know that our focus of academic essay writing is to synthesize information and present information in a very structured and organized way. And we're going to, just keep doing that here at this level, ESL 5. In other words, we're going to be looking at nonfiction, fiction, and also doing research, academic research. So these three major types of writing we'll be doing. Throughout this course, you will improve your reading and writing skills, critical thinking skills, and abilities to analyze and respond to main arguments of readings and articles. You will also learn to incorporate and synthesize ideas on your own with practice through peer review opportunities and written journal assignments. Excellent organization, content, and grammar are expected in all written assignments, including take-home essays, in-class essays, we have just the one, and journal assignments. I've reminded many students, right? Every time I teach 273 or earlier, I remind students that there's no more grammar focus at this level, ESL 5. So if you are still working on certain grammar things, maybe you recognize certain writing weaknesses, I strongly, strongly recommend visit the WRC, the Writing Reading Center at Dianza, and that'll really, really help you. They also have online resources available, online meetings. So please take advantage of the WRC, really great resource. Student learning outcomes. When you complete this course, you will be able to, number one, analyze and evaluate college level fiction and nonfiction texts, right? We're going to be practicing that in this class. Number two, write essays, including research-based writing, demonstrating academic rhetorical strategies and documentation. Just another fancy way to say, you're going to do a good job writing academic research essays. And then three, demonstrate college level grammar, sentence structure, and vocabulary in writing. Now, earlier, I just said that we're not focused on grammar explicitly, meaning we're not going to have grammar lessons and grammar topics. But, a really important thing to remember, keep in mind, is how do we become a better writer is to read more, right? And especially what kind of writing you want to be better at, then that's the type of writing you should read more. Give you an example. If you want to become a better poet, right? You want to write poetry really well, you should probably be reading lots of poetry so you can understand right techniques and get inspiration and like kind of like that. Think of it as art. This is something I'll talk about in every writing class. Writing is a form of art. So if you want to become a better artist or musician or dancer or anything, right? Usually that means you're going to be consuming, or in other words, you're going to be viewing and looking at and watching and reading all these other examples of art. So as you become a better reader and stronger reader, that will actually make you a better writer as well, right? Sometimes we don't think about that relationship between reading and writing. Prerequisites, I assume if you're able to take the class, enroll in the class, you should meet the prerequisites, but that it's right here. So basically, at least the ESL 200 level. Required materials, this is very important. We have a lot of material to go over and go through, right, to read this quarter. So please make sure that by this week, by the end of this week, you can and you're able to get these two really important required materials. We're going to be using them immediately. So our textbook, it's called Source Work, Academic Writing from Sources. Here is the ISBN number. If you take that number, right, and you find it, it's also in the Enza bookstore. But if you find that ISBN number, that will lead you to the exact correct textbook edition. It needs to be the second edition. It was published in 2012, and those are the author names. The other really important material is our novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. You may have heard of this book, right? It's also very popular in American cultural history. And the one I'm using is this ISBN number here, right? So I know there are many different versions of this book, and usually what changes is the cover looks different and maybe the page numbers, right? Like that's probably the only two differences, because the story is going to be the same, right? All the words, all the paragraphs, the story will not change. It's just the page numbers and the cover will be different. Since I have a very specific version already, if you are able to get the same exact version, it'll just be easier because I might mention page numbers when we're talking together. But if you are unable to, or your version is a little bit different, it should be okay, right? Because at least the good news is we have chapters, chapter numbers, right? It's not one of those books that doesn't even have chapter numbers. So at least we're okay. We can just think about chapter numbers instead of page numbers. Okay, attendance. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to come to class, the Monday classes, attend every class and arrive a few minutes before class begins. If you're going to be absent during the first 2 weeks of the quarter, you have to let your teachers know. If not, then they'll think you're not interested and you may be dropped from the course. Attendance is directly related to your success. I'll be going over a lot of, detailed expectations in class. So come to class and also be sure to pay good attention and listen carefully, and I think you'll do well. If you're absent or late, you can think about contacting a classmate. On Monday, we'll have some time to exchange some contact information and also check Canvas to see what you've missed. If for any reason you decide to withdraw or drop the class, go ahead and do that. Just let me know so I can confirm, that it actually happened. Otherwise, you might end up getting like a W or something else, or maybe a failing grade. Sorry, actually, yeah, not a W. You might get a failing grade, right? And you don't want that. Because it's an online class, it is very extremely helpful to your teachers if you turn on your camera. So please do so whenever possible. Important dates here. Well, April 6th, first day of class. So that's going to be today. The last day to add classes will be April 16th. So I know some of us may, we're still looking for an add code. So we'll figure that out this week and also by Monday. April 17th is the last day to drop classes without a W. So that's just, pretend you never took the class. April 29th is the last day to request pass, no pass. Please talk to your counselors about pass, no pass, and the benefits and drawbacks of taking pass, no pass. My personal opinion is if you can get a good grade, I think you should just use the grade. But you need to, I think, clarify and talk to your counselors, because if you're thinking about transferring, right, like I'm not sure, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you can take transferable classes pass, no pass. So, but yeah, you can let me know and double check with your counselors. May 27th, last day to drop a class with a W. May 28th through 30th, we have Memorial Day weekend. No classes, campus is closed. And that does affect us, right? So we do lose our one Monday meeting there as well. So actually, we're losing 2 Monday classes, right? We're losing 2 Zoom meetings, basically. June 20th, we have our Juneteenth holiday. And I believe that's the Monday of finals week. And then we have final exams June 21st through the 24th. Okay, and then essay assignments. I'll just go ahead and go over the general, right, course overview thing. But on Monday, like I said, I'm sure you might have more questions, and I'll talk about more things in detail. And you can also explore Canvas and see what's going on, how the course is structured. So I'll talk about just in general now. There will be a total of 5 essay assignments. All assignments must be submitted on time. Late assignments lose 10% each day they're late. You'll receive additional details about each essay assignment. When I go over the syllabus later, you'll see that we'll talk about each assignment before they're due. Or of course, you will receive feedback on essays 1, 3, and 4 only. And that's because essay number 2 is an in-class timed single draft assignment, right? It's an in-class essay. So it's just a single draft. You just write it one time, you turn it in, that's it, right? Essay number 5 is take home. It's part of your portfolio, which is part of your final exam. Essay 5 is a reflective essay. So if if you've taken 273, you're very familiar with that. And that means your teachers, instructors may not help you with essay number 5, right? It's basically your final exam. Portfolio, we'll talk more details throughout the class, but the portfolio, all students must submit a portfolio at the end of the quarter. This portfolio replaces the final exam and is comprised of, right, it includes essays 2, 3, and 5. We will not be meeting during finals week, so that's it. Your portfolio is your final. And then you must have a passing grade to submit a portfolio, a C or higher. And that's, again, just like 273. Journal writing and quizzes. We will have 3 journal assignments throughout the course. They're all related to our novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. And then you also have 8 quizzes. They're going to be weekly quizzes that you can take on your own on Canvas. Let me see. Yeah, okay. And then grading. The grading, we have essay number 1, informative essay. 10% of our grade. And then we have portfolio, sorry, confused myself. Okay, so essay number 1, informative essay, right? 10% of your grade. Essay number 2, which is that in-class timed nonfiction analysis, that's 15% of your grade, and that's going to be included in your portfolio. Essay number 3 is our research paper, and that's 30% of the grade will be included in the portfolio. Essay number 4 is a fiction analysis of To Kill a Mockingbird. That's going to be worth 25% of your grade. So that's why it's really important to keep reading, keep up with the reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and make sure you understand it, right, as we're reading it throughout the quarter. Essay number 5 is a reflective essay, which will also be included in your portfolio. Essay number 5 will not be receiving a grade on its own. So you can see 10% plus 15 plus 30 plus 25. Right? Basically, we have 80% of our grades will be coming from the 4 essays, just those 4 essays. Now, quizzes will make up 15% of the grade. And if you're keeping up with the readings every week, then usually you'll do well there. And then journal assignments are 5% of the grade. So total will be 100%. Here's the grading scale. You can take a look at how that plays out, but it's pretty common. So the passing grade here is going to be a 70% or higher, right? C or higher. I do round up. So if you meet 0.5%, I will round up to the next whole percent. Academic honesty. So this is the usual, right? Except for pair and group assignments, all assignments must be done by yourself. So please do not cheat. I'm not really going to be, reading everything here, but I think you have the right idea and you're familiar with this. Don't cheat, don't copy, don't get too much help. I know sometimes we have a tutor, but don't get too much help where they're doing it for you, right? Of course, that's not good because you're not learning. Don't use translating devices and programs, right? At this point, you want to be using your own languages, your own understanding of English language. Of course, if you need a dictionary thesaurus as you're reading, or as you're writing your essays, you're using a thesaurus, like that's honestly fine, right? But just think about what would be considered cheating is of course not okay. And then plagiarism, of course, is also not okay. That's when you copy something from another piece of writing, especially without citing your sources. And we'll talk more about that when we talk about essay number 1, actually, on Monday. So cheating and plagiarizing will receive a 0 for the assignments. And then students may be dropped from the course, right, if you're caught cheating and plagiarizing. Disability, any student who feels they may need accommodation based on impact of disability, go ahead and let me know, and then we'll work that out. Electronic devices, even though our class is online, of course, you don't want to be distracting yourself with your phone or other things going on. Of course, if there's an emergency or if there's something very, very urgent, go ahead. You don't have to let me know. Just go ahead, just like a normal class, right? If you need to go for some emergency reason, go ahead. And then classroom behavior, just the usual, please listen to each other carefully and respectfully, including your teacher. Sometimes we may disagree, but it's important to be, again, respectful toward each other. And yeah, unless it's an emergency, please try to stay in class until it's over, because I have a lot of important things to tell you in class, especially since we're only meeting together once a week, since the second half of the week will usually just be a video. All right, schedule. You'll probably have more questions on Monday, but for now, I'll show you the schedule. And you can, again, take a look at the syllabus anytime you want to refer to the schedule and see what's coming up next. I have this organized by week, and then the topic. On the right side, you can see this is homework that is due by the end of each week. So I'm talking about 11:59 p.m. of Sunday of each week. And that would be the homework deadline, due date deadline. So you can see this week, we don't have class, but I'm giving you this video, which is a course overview. And then by the end of this week, please have the textbook and novel ready. You really need this right away. And then if you already have the textbook, I strongly recommend start reading pages 175 through 190. That's going to be related to our essay number 1. Okay, so week 2 on Monday, we'll go ahead and talk about essay number 1. I'll introduce that. I'll introduce To Kill a Mockingbird for us. I'll introduce the journal assignments, and I will review MLA format for us, because all of our assignments at this point in this class need to be written following MLA format. So right now, this is more like a tentative schedule, right? Things can change, but you can see there's a black line, right? So this is my plan. Anything under the black line each week is maybe I'll just make a video for us, right? So I'm planning right now, next week, the video will be focused on chapter 1, Explore, and also the readings, pages 175 through 190, right? Analyzing the readings first a little bit for essay number 1. And that'll make more sense when we talk about essay number 1 on Monday. So you can see it's very quick. At the end of week 2, we have to finish our quiz number 1. We have to read pages 175 through 190. And we also need to finish our first draft of essay number 1. Okay, so just be prepared. There's a lot of work. This is ESL 5. Okay, there's going to be a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of writing. So please make sure to give yourself enough time to be able to complete all assignments on time, right? Otherwise, you're going to start losing points because they're late. All right, week 3. We'll always begin with a review of To Kill a Mockingbird from the previous week. Week 3, I'm going to introduce you to essay number 2, which is our in-class timed nonfiction analysis essay. We also have chapter 2 to talk about that week, which I'm thinking will be more of a video. At the end of week 3, essay number 1 final draft is already due. And of course, quiz 2, right, as usual, each week will be a quiz. And then part of week 3 homework is also to read and annotate. There's an article called Why Women Live Longer Than Men. Okay, so week 4, we'll review To Kill a Mockingbird. We'll review that article that you read, and then we'll talk about logical fallacies. And then week 4, we also have our timed nonfiction analysis online, right, that online essay. I'll give you more information about that on Monday again. Okay. But yes, you also have your first journal assignment due at the end of week 4. Week 5, we'll start talking about academic research. I'll show you how to use the library resources and how to find peer-reviewed academic sources. That's the key. That's really important. And that's in 273, you did a little bit of research writing, but at this level, the source, where you get your research from, that's important. So now we can only use sources that are peer-reviewed academic sources. And again, I'll show you how to do that in week 5. So we'll introduce that research paper for week 5. Make sure you do the research for the research paper so that in week 6, right, we'll talk about summarizing, paraphrasing, citations. We're excited. We'll review that. And we'll talk about something called an annotated bibliography. I don't know if you've done this before, but this is more than just a works cited, right? And I'll talk about that. So that'll be homework for week 6, including, quiz 5, journal 2. Week 7, we'll come back, review everything. And then for week 7, the homework is to first draft, right? Do the first draft of your essay number 3 research paper. Then week 8, I'll introduce us to literary terms and devices so that we can start shifting our mindset to the fiction analysis essay. And that'll be, again, for To Kill a Mockingbird. It's going to be like a analysis of To Kill a Mockingbird, that kind of essay. But week 8, we'll go ahead and finish our research paper. Our final draft is due that week, end of that week. Week 9, that's, what was it? Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day will affect our week 9, which means we don't have a class together week 9, but I'll go ahead and create a video for us anyway, right, for chapter 4. And at the end of week 9, you have your first draft of essay number 4 due. And you can see that's also the week that you finish To Kill a Mockingbird. Right? There are 31 chapters in total. So quiz 8 is your last quiz. So when we come back, week 10, we'll do a final review of To Kill a Mockingbird. We'll have time to talk about essay number 5, which is the reflective essay. And remember, that's part of the portfolio. So we'll go over all of that. And so week 10, you just have not you just have, but like, you have time. You have time, and all you have, sorry, what I mean is you just have one assignment, which is to finish your essay number 4, right, final draft. And then week 11, that Monday, we'll have our course wrap up and feedback for everything, portfolio tips and reminders, because remember, I cannot help you with the content and the specifics of essay number 5 and the portfolio, but I can give you a lot of tips, and I'll give you as much information as I can without directly helping you, because I'm not allowed to do that. And then so week 11, your final portfolio is actually going to be due at the end of week 11. The end of week 11, okay? It's not due during finals week. It's due at the end of week 11. So I'll remind us of that throughout the quarter. But that means for finals week, at least for this class, you may have other classes, but for our class, you'll be done with this class even before finals week, right? So that's the good news, right? So here's that, the whole schedule and everything. This is part of the syllabus document, so you can go ahead and take a look at this on your own as well if you do have any questions. But I think that's probably good for now, because I feel like if I start talking about, more detailed stuff, that might get a bit confusing. And so again, I think it's best for us we'll save that for Monday. Okay, so we'll still treat Monday as our actual first meeting, because it is. And so I'll give us opportunities, like I said, to talk about all this all of this, everything. Okay, if you have any questions at all, of course, bring them on Monday and we'll figure it out together then. Okay, I'll clarify everything that is still confusing. So that's pretty much it. So my last comment here, right, is please make sure you have your textbook and novel by the end of this week. That's the source work, right, textbook, and To Kill a Mockingbird novel. And if you have the source work textbook, go ahead and read pages 175 through 190. So you'll be even more prepared. So that means on Monday, we'll start with our week 2 topic. And please have all your questions ready. And I look forward to meeting all of you. We'll figure things out. We'll make this work. And I'll have a great rest of your week and weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. All right. Take care, everybody.